Greetings, everyone. This is Jeff Wilkerson, Professor of Physics at Luther College, bringing you the next in our series of what to look for in the night sky. We're talking about the week of October 30th, 2023 this time around, so Halloween week, and rolling right into the month of November. So we got a great fall sky to look at. We've been tracking, week after week after week, we've been tracking Venus in prograde motion, moving easterly through the constellation of Leo. It's now left Leo and into Virgo, and we said, well, we're going to be done with it, but we're not quite done with it yet. We just can't give it up. It's been so much fun to watch. Right now, for me, the best thing, I see it every morning, right? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, even probably still 6:30 in the morning. It's plenty dark enough to see all the background stars around Venus. So we're getting to be the time of year, before we fall back here, very soon. It's getting to be the time of year when we don't have to be up that early to see some great morning sky. And so this is what we see. But for me right now, what I enjoy most when I look at it is if I'm standing and I'm looking due south at, 5:30 in the morning or something like that, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, something that range. I stand and I look south. The brightest star in all of the sky, Sirius, is right there in front of me. And I see the bright, glittering Sirius right there. But the brightest planets, Jupiter off to the west trying to set, and Venus off to the east coming up. And so I've got these three beautiful dots of light that are, there you go, Sirius, that are showing me the southern horizon there. So try that this week. That's if you do nothing else, just enjoy that view every morning. This next week, you can get up and you can look and you can see there's Sirius, there's Jupiter, and there's Saturn. No Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn's coming. So we've got Sirius and Jupiter and Venus, and you can see them strung across the southern horizon, the three brightest lights in the sky other than the moon and the sun. And so this is just fun to see. And you can see Orion shining above Sirius there. All very good. But Sirius has been, what we've been enjoying about, Sirius, let's say that first. Sirius we think about the magnitude system. We're going to talk about magnitudes of stars. And magnitudes, remember, it's a system that counts backwards, and so the lower the number, the brighter, and every step is about a factor of 2.5 in apparent brightness to us. And Sirius, good grief, Sirius is a almost negative 1.5. So it's the brightest star in the sky. It is really, really bright. Venus and Jupiter are more negative than that. But we got a fainter star up here, Zavijava in Virgo. And that's where Venus is now. And so this fainter star in Virgo, still a pretty bright star, third magnitude star, that you see Zavijava there. On the mornings of the 5th and the 6th, you can watch Venus is going to slide right by this star. We've been watching this all fall here, as we've seen Venus track through Leo and have encounter after encounter after encounter with relatively bright stars. Not really super bright stars, but stars you can see. And there's another example right here. So it's just fun to see this every morning almost. It feels like every week we have some morning where Venus is having a close encounter with a star. Zavijava is our star this week. So enjoy that on the mornings of the 5th and the 6th. It'll be relatively close before and after that, but that's Sunday morning and Monday morning a week out here. And so you'll see, you can watch all week Venus closing on the star there, and you'll see it just right on top of it those 2 mornings. Also in the morning sky, for those of you early birds, a good early morning sky, again, 5 or 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock would be a great time to go out and see this. On the morning of November 3rd, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Friday morning. So Friday morning, November 3rd, the moon. One of the reasons we're doing this kind of work right now is we're not looking for star clusters or nebulae and stuff because it's another bright moon week. But by Friday, the moon will have waned away till about 2/3 full. And the moon will make a right triangle, more or less, with the bright stars in Gemini, Castor and Pollux. So you see the two bright stars, Castor, Pollux, and the moon. These are very bright stars. There's about 4.5 degrees that separate Castor and Pollux, and there's about 4.5 degrees that separate Pollux and the moon. So it's a nice triangle of of Moon and Castor and Pollux. So check that out on the morning of November 3rd while you're out looking at Sirius, Venus, and Jupiter and enjoying that view. All great. Now, in the evening sky, if you happen to like to be out in the evening instead, or you are out in the evening and you see what's going on, what we have is Saturn in the evening sky. So as it gets dark, I don't know, let's say 8 p.m. So it's been dark a little while. At 8 p.m., you can look and look to the south, and just about due south, just west of due south, you'll find Saturn. So Saturn's glowing over here. One of the brighter objects in this area is Saturn. It's got kind of a yellowish hue. You can probably tell it's a planet. You can tell it's not twinkling like a star. And so find Saturn there. And we have, over the last couple of years, we've been tracking Saturn near the tail of Capricorn, Deneb Algedi and Nashira, those two stars that mark the tail of Capricorn. Saturn's in Aquarius now. And Saturn is about 1.5 degrees from Iota Aquarii. Iota Aquarii is a 4th magnitude star, so it's a star you can see. You can probably see, you can see 4th magnitude stars. You can see down to 5th, and if you have pretty good skies. Some of you might not be able to see that. But so that's a star you can see. A lot of moon might not help this week, but later in the week would be better than earlier in the week to be able to see it. Binoculars for sure bring it out. Remember, your finger held out at arm's length is about 1 degree, so you're about 1.5 fingers width separating Saturn and Iota. A nice close grouping right there. Iota Aquarii, it's a binary star. We haven't known all that long that it's a binary star. I'm going to say 8 years that we've known it's a binary star, and we can tell it's a binary star. One, you can see the lines shifting back and forth. So the stars have in their outer layers, the stars have atoms, and depending on what the temperature of the star is, tells you what levels. If you think about the old picture, the old high school picture of what an atom would look like, where you have a nucleus and you have these shells around there, right? It's not really what it is, but it's a good picture to help us understand that. Where these electrons sit, and what level they sit, depends very strongly on what the temperature of the star is. And so depending on where those electrons sit, they tell you, that tells you where they can jump from one level to another level. And as they can jump from one level to another level, that causes a line in the bright spectrum of the star. So you see a continuous rainbow in the light of the star, but you'll see dark lines as these electrons make transitions upward. A particle of light, a photon comes in and hits that electron, kicks it up there. And if that particle of light had an energy exactly equal to the difference between those two levels, then it can cause that to happen. And it gets scattered out. It gets kicked away, and so it gets absorbed here, but then re-emitted when this thing drops back down. But let's not get down. Let's not get to that too much right here. Just say that we see a dark line right there, and that tells us the temperature of the star. And so different stars have different sets of dark lines. And so we can tell that Iota Aquarii is a binary star because it's got two different sets of dark lines. Sets of dark lines equivalent to a very hot star, what we would call a B-class star. So these are among the hottest stars in the sky. So it's a very, very hot star, but then there's a secondary star that looks more like our sun, and it's got a set of lines that's associated with a star more like our sun, and you can see the two of those in there together. So we know that's a binary star. Don't go try to look for it with your telescope. Nobody's seen it, so you're probably not going to see it with your backyard telescope, but just know that it's there. Another 5 degrees, that's 1.5 degrees. Another 5 degrees on down, or so, a little over 5 degrees, to Deneb Algedi. That's a brighter star, 3rd magnitude star. Nashira is a little fainter, 3.7 magnitude. It's another 1.5 degrees, 1.75 degrees down to Nashira. So you've got the 2 dots in the tail of Capricorn right there, and on up to Iota. You've got the 2 dots that are Saturn and Iota Aquarii. So see if you can find the pairs of bright objects in the sky. Now, 20 degrees down from Saturn or so is Fomalhaut. We always like to talk about that this time of year. It's one of my favorite stars. It's a 1.2 magnitude star. It's in Pisces Australis, and it's way to the south for me. I live far enough north that it's pretty far down on the southern horizon in the soup of the atmosphere. It has to be a bright star for me to see. And so this is the southernmost star that I can walk out and see easily. And so I enjoy seeing it. The fall, October into November is the right time to be looking at this. This is almost due south as it gets dark right now. And then back up this direction, go another 27 degrees back up to this direction, and you get another 2nd magnitude star. So another bright star that is Diphda in Cetus. And we've talked about Diphda in Cetus before. It's a nice bright star here, but you've got this pattern of Saturn, a relatively bright object, Fomalhaut, and Diphda, making this sort of triangle. We had a triangle with Castor, Pollux, and the moon. Now we got a triangle with Saturn, Fomalhaut, and Diphda here. And we can use Saturn to find some of the fainter stars in Aquarius and Capricorn. So this is what we got. This is our week. Some things to look at. We got Saturn, we got Jupiter, we got Venus, we got Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, Castor, Pollux, and the moon, a couple of bright stars with the moon, some fainter stars in Capricorn and Aquarius. Fomalhaut are one of our favorite fall objects to look at. So hopefully you'll have some clear skies ahead and you have a good week. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody.